explain to you why a 30-year mortgage, unless you are renting the house out or rooms in the house, is a scam. Okay? Pretty much when you buy a house, right now, houses are average 300,000. Okay? Over 30 years, you will have paid 900,000 on average, depending on your interest rate. Somewhere between uh 800,000, 1.2 million. So on average, 900,000. That means you bought your house one time, but you bought the bank two houses. It's the biggest scam. All right. Now, when people say, "Oh, I paid 300,000 for my house and I sold it for 500,000." Okay, let's do the math. When you buy a $300,000 house, okay, the mortgage on a $300,000 house is, you know, 2,500 to about 3,500. Let's be modest. Let's say it's 2,500 per month. Okay. And in 12 months, excuse me, so just 12. That's let me see, 25,000 plus another 5,000. That's $30,000 a year. Okay? So this $300,000 house costing you $30,000 a year in mortgage payments. That's not including your internet bill, your water bill, your electric bill. Okay, that's not including that. Okay, your lawn maintenance, sewer, it's trash. It's just ridiculous. All right, $30,000 a year. That means technically 30,000 a year. 30K per year times 10 years. Technically, you done paid off this house in 10 years, right? Technically, you done paid off this house in 10 years, okay? You already done paid the bank back, but obviously when you borrow money, you got to pay it back with interest, all right? So the reason why Grant Cardone and a lot of people preach buy houses that you rent out to others, but rent the house that you live in is because of this right here. It makes absolutely no sense to buy a house according to this. The math just not right. Okay? Why? Because you can rent somewhere cheap, right? You could rent somewhere for $1,000 a month. I don't care if it's a little trailer. 1,000K a month. You can save the other 1,500 a month, right? Save 1,500 a month. Okay? You know you want to buy a $300,000 house. That's about 15,000 a year you're gonna be saving times 10 years. So it'll take you about 20 years. 20 years to save that $300,000. Okay? But here's how you beat that. If you can save $1,500 a month, in compound interest, $1,500 a month in compound interest, you can actually have, and you can go to Google and check it out, you can actually have this 300,000 in about 5 to 10 years. So it makes more sense to be able to afford the 2,500, but find somewhere for 1,000, save the other 1,500 in a compound interest account or stocks or cryptocurrency or something like that, that's going to earn you money on top of your money. Then take cash, buy the house cash, and then keep this other 600,000 and keep that 600,000 making you money, okay? And you bought your house cash. So this is why a 30-year mortgage is a scam. Get in a mastermind. 754-229-0940. 754-229-0940. All right. This doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but for those that it makes sense to, I'm telling you, you already know what time it is. Now, as I was explaining to my students earlier, what I do is this. Because I know the house is a scam, what in real estate is not a scam? It's called land. Land is not a scam. This is why they fight all wars, and this is why they're killing themselves, is because of the land. I was talking to one of my students, and I said, where would you love to just own a house? But it has to be some major city. I said, pick one. She said, New York City. I said, perfect. You walking out New York City, you see a nice brownstone. You said, dang, that thing is $1 million. That's about what they go for. $1 million. All right. You say, oh man, I don't have $1 million. I make $30,000 a year, $50,000 a year. Well, okay, I know when I do get ready to buy my brownstone, it's gonna be about $1 million, but I better hurry up because in the next 30 years, it's probably gonna be about $3 million. But I said, you know what? You're a smart student, so you probably figure, hey, let me see how much it's gonna cost for me to just build that house myself, right? So you talk to somebody and they tell you, hey, I could build you that house for $300,000. Because that's a real number. I'm a contractor by trade. A brownstone in New York, you could probably build it for about 300,000. Meaning, if a brownstone in New York caught on fire and burnt to the ground, you could probably rebuild it for about $300,000. So you're like, dang, why would they charge me $1 million for a $300,000 home? What is the other $700,000 come from that they adding on? The other 700,000 is the land value. This is why land is where the value at, not in the house. You can always build a house. Another example. If you have 100,000 and I have 100,000, we both have $100,000. But you took your $100,000 and you went and bought a condo, no land. You just went and bought a condo, right? Now you know you got to pay your condo fees, your association fees. You got to pay your taxes, insurance, all the fees that go along with owning a house, right? you took your 100,000 and you bought a house or a condo, no land. And notice that word con in condo. So it's just because it is a con, they definitely conning you. But I took my 100,000 and I went and bought $100,000 worth of land. Whether it's a tiny little piece of land in New York City, because that's all I'm gonna get is 0.000001 for about $100,000, or acres, maybe 50 acres of land in New Mexico, right? North Carolina somewhere, right? In 10 years, who you think will have more value? This person that brought $100,000 worth of land, this person that bought $100,000 condo, okay, in New York City, let's say New York City, or me that bought $100,000 worth of land in the same New York City. Who you think will have more money and less headache over the 10 years and less liability? Correct. The person that bought the land will have less headache, less liability, and make more money over the next 10 years. The reason why usually people love to build from the ground up, developers love to build from the ground up. They are not concerned about where you live, the building. They want the land. Okay, they want to put something on the land that they want to put. They're not concerned with what's there already. Okay, so you making payments with your probably 3,000 down and about $1,000 a month in 10 years, say 12,000 a year, that's $120,000 plus the 3,000. So you done put in 123,000, which means you pretty much paid off the house already or the condo. Me in that same 10 years, I probably only been making 500 a month payments. I done close to pay it off or whatever. I'll definitely have less money into it, right? Neither one of us will have it paid off, or I would be closer to having it paid off because land, usually they only give you 10 years to pay off the land. So yeah, I would have that land paid off in 10 years. Okay. You would have put in 123,000 in that condo. You probably only get about 200,000 for that condo in 10 years unless something weird happened like a pandemic and they gotta inflate everything afterwards and put a bunch of money out there. Okay, I would probably get 150,000 for the land. Okay, you made about 76K profit. I probably made 50K profit. But guess what? I had less headache the whole 10 years. I had less liability the whole 10 years. Okay? Another example why buying a house is a scam for 30 years. I should say buying a house and paying on it for 30 years is a scam. Okay? Now, the people that make money in buying houses are people that buy a house, sell it in 6 to 10 months. You might have, if you got $1,000 mortgage, that means you got about 6 to 12,000 in it. You put down or put in whatever. You might have say you do buy cash, you got 100 and well, we're talking about if you finance it. So say you do finance it, you got 12,000 in it. You got to pay the bank back the whole 100,000 because all that money is just going toward interest. That 12,000 just basically money you threw away that went towards interest. And somebody give you 200,000 for the house, so you made $100,000 profit. All right. Even if they give you $150,000 for the house or condo, you made that money profit. All right. But that's why they want you to stay in a house 5 years or more, because as long as you stay in a house 5 years or more, they done made their money back. Okay. If you stayed in a house paying $1,000 a month for 5 years, that's 12,000 times 5. That's about $60,000. You pretty much done paid back this $100,000 because the whole time you paying them the $60,000, they reinvest in it and they done made this $100,000 back times more. This is why they want to keep you in the house for 5 years. All right, get in the mastermind. I teach you this stuff. 754-229-0940. Love you guys. Peace. 754-229-0940.